So my fault, guys. I was supposed to hit the button that said give you guys a quick little countdown timer that we're starting the presentation, but I hit the wrong button and it just immediately started the presentation. So apologies for the quick interrupt if you guys were chatting with one another. Normally you get a countdown. Christine should be joining me here in a moment. When she comes on, we will get things rocking and rolling. Here she comes to the stage, the one, the only, Christine Yu. Welcome. Oh, you know what? I think there is, let me see here. Yeah, there is. So that was kind of funny. They added some little cool little toys to it. So speaking of this is a little bit different way to do video virtual engagement, networking, business collaboration, and participating in the tools and the technology really just help much move your business processes ahead faster. And that's really kind of the takeaway. There, a lot of times people are somewhat reticent and standoffish about adopting it. And then the next thing you know, this thing becomes their life. And they say, well, I can never live my life without my cell phone. But I guarantee you, if you're my age, you can definitely say, hey, I remember the time when you were like, I would never just put everything on in that little cell phone thing. You would never just say put your time. But this becomes part of your process, and it makes things much more efficient for you. Irrespective of where you are, you have to participate in the advancements of the technology. And that's what the word innovation to me really is all about. So I kind of wanted to challenge folks, and I'll start with you, Christine. I'm going to put you on the spot, is to really ask yourself, what does innovation mean to you from a business perspective? And it's no wrong answer, but I'm just curious to know, just as you're kind of thinking about it, what does it mean to you?
So when I think of innovation as it applies to my business, I'm thinking of making something, streamlining something to be more efficient, effective, and maybe even see if I can optimize something so that I am able to do other things. I think a lot of us are, I think most of us are either independent practitioners or entrepreneurs here, whether it's a sort of startup or they've been here for like 20 years. I think innovation is also something that gets better. It's just dynamic, right? It solves a problem at every stage.
And innovation doesn't necessarily have to be technological. Right. It can be process oriented, but let's just address the elephant in the room. We are living in a technologically advanced age right now. We are that beginning catalyst of foundation building, industry related development. And it's the role that we decide to play. I'm going to put my headphones on because I don't want to get any feedback here. So let me just plug this puppy in here. All right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And so as you guys are thinking about, today, we're going to talk social media, but dude, if you're not using social media by now, there's not really nothing innovative I'm going to talk to you about, except when we start adding innovation to it. If we start realizing that channel is a priority channel, it is a mandatory channel for us to be able to tap into. And as people start to say, hey, well, there's so many different social media sites to mess with, which one do I deal with? It's kind of like going from having ABC, CBS, NBC to advertise on, to having then TNT, TBS, ESPN to advertise on, to then having HBO streaming, HBO Max, and all this other stuff, and Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime to advertise on. These channels are just extrapolating. They are growing. And you have to participate in it to have your brand in the stream of consciousness and conversation and engagement. I've said it before, and you're going to hear me say it multiple times. The two assets in the future right now and moving into the future: attention and data. Your attention is extremely valuable because you got to sleep. So there's times that people can't even take advantage of your attention span. But there's times that they are fighting like the Dickens to make sure that you are paying attention to whatever it is that is their platform or their message or their agenda or their family or whatever. And social media is the channel that we're all using, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's not just a Facebook or an Instagram or a LinkedIn or a Twitter/X or whatever you want to call it. It's a culmination of these different people tune into different stations. I got a family member that I know and love. She watches HGTV constantly. I never turn on HGTV ever. But if I wanted to make sure that her message would get to her, HGTV would have to be on my radar because that demographic is what I want to go after. So you can't say, "Oh, I don't use TikTok." Well, does your client base, is their attention glued to that? I was driving with my wife. We went to Sonoma for Father's Day, right? So we did a little staycation, went to Sonoma for Father's Day. We were listening, and maybe this tells us how old we are, but we had NPR playing as we were driving up. And one of the stories, and I forgot the gentleman's name. There's a guy, I want to say he's like you know, some somebody on like a presidential cabinet of health advisory. So he was talking about the mental health situation with kids and the social media giants that they're having to fight up against in order to maintain their sanity. And there's over 5.5 hours a day that people spend online. 5.5 hours. If we're awake for 12, that's nearly half the hours that you're really kind of focusing on social media channels. And it's not a bad thing. It's just their way of communicating. And your job from a business perspective is to get in the conversation stream somehow. You've got to figure out how to get it. How do I get in the conversation stream? And social media is a great tool in order to do that. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about here today. So before we get started, there is a little bit of housekeeping. I love the fact that you guys are chatting. Please chat amongst yourselves. This is an open environment. If you have questions, do me a favor. Do you see the little tab that says Q&A up there? Click on that tab and please put your questions there. Christine and I are going to monitor that tab for the questions that we are going to field. It just keeps it way more organized for us. You guys can chat and engage, and if you talk about me behind my back, that's cool because I'm going to see it. There's a thread of it. So change your profile information first, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and as you can see, there's also little emoticons. You guys can give thumbs up and claps, etc. On the right hand side, if there's things that you like. And again, I want you to enter what we're going to talk about from a different perspective. It's not going to be, I'm going to run through some slides. I'm going to tell you up front what I'm going to do. I'm going to run through some slides, and then we're going to get online and we're going to actually start, using some of these tools real time and seeing what is possible. And then you guys can figure out how to integrate and implement that within your business operations, because I'm not going to convince you why you need to. You should. And we all know that there are channels that you need to have your brand highly exposed on, and you need to be engaged with the folks on those on those channels as well. All right, so I have rambled on. Let me pull up my presentation here, and there it is. Share screen. And it's actually not going to be as long today because it's going to be more involved and participatory. So, um, are we able to see my slides? Is it loading? Are we good? Awesome. So, using social media to build authority, trust, and awareness. That's the overall goal, because that's that is what is authentic. And you have to be authentic when you're in the public. It There's so many eyes on you, and there's so much verification that happens instantaneously that authenticity is absolutely necessary. With that being said, everybody is completely comfortable with engaging with robots and technology in their worlds, from automated emails that they know is an automated email that comes out to them, to now talking avatars or whatever that they know is a talking avatar, to hey Siri, hey Alexa, that they know is a freaking robot, to the little Roomba that comes on and decides to clean up whenever it decides to clean up. Leveraging and using these tools as you are building the authority and the trust and the awareness is what we want to innovate. We know we've got to do it. So let's just innovate it. So based on what we talked about earlier, Christine, is having a much more efficient, intelligent way about building that authority and trust and awareness. So um Christine, you know what? I've met a few people who this is their first time at our event. They haven't seen any of our events. So, for those latecomers, Christine is an expert in the real estate industry, private equity, alternative investments, and 1031 exchanges. Now, I've said this over and over again, but we definitely have to sit down, because I've started my job is I've started to do a little bit of research into 1031 exchange. I've talked to Chat GPT about it a little bit. So I want to validate it with some professional validation before I start really pulling back the layers of the onion. But I am interested in exploring that topic with you. She is dedicated to educating real estate professionals, investors, attorneys, financial advisors, CPAs on the benefits of 1031 exchanges. And by putting on this summit, this innovation summit, she's also dedicated to educating the industry when it comes to technological advancements. They're there, it's democratized. Let's start leveraging and using it for the benefit of your overall business model. She's founded her 1031 exchange, and she's recently partnered with Stewart Title, enhancing her client fund and expanding services. So again, Christine, thank you so much for all that you do. I definitely appreciate it. None of this would be possible without you. And we are very, very appreciative. Thank you. Anything to say?
Nope. You're welcome. Can't wait to introduce you.
You are definitely one of a kind, and I appreciate any and everything that you have to share with folks.
Appreciate that. Welcome, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce the creator for our wonderful living room earlier and giving all our content for the last, I think, fourth or fifth session on our 5-part summit. This gentleman over here has over 30 years in tech entrepreneurship. He's the founder of 2 tech innovation companies. He's an expert in digital media and marketing with a focus on AI-driven solutions for local businesses, real estate, and all other industries. He has a proven track record in business growth and efficiency. That's part of what he does. He works with business owner, independent contractors to just explode their business. He's certified in artificial intelligence and business strategy. He runs an AI agency that specializes in effective business growth strategies. He also started a new video production business to spotlight local business experts. You might want to have him as your resource there. Alignable Alliance ambassador as well. I believe he holds a lot of in person alignable meetings in his area. If you're in his area, check that out. He's passionate about empowering underserved local businesses.
Well, you know, speaking of,
Yeah.
I just want to interrupt. Speaking of that, we are doing an in person here in the San Mateo area, and it is going to coincide with next week's open network. So you guys are going to be at my in person. I'm going to have my laptop and my video camera over there. So you guys are going to meet some of the folks that are on the in person. So I kind of set that up on purpose. So this is also a way to show and demonstrate it's possible for folks to engage, and there can be a little table where folks can sit down and meet other people and engage and chat, and everybody is there digitally and virtually. So all good, all good. Way to kind of push the boundaries is, you know.
And without further ado, Mark Gamble.
Yay. Hold on, let me do another one of this is a different sound effect. This is the other sound effect that they added. All right, so thank you very much, Christine. Let's talk about social media success. This is the fourth in a 5-part mini series that we have focused on harnessing the power of AI to really transform your real estate business. We've tied AI into every aspect of the traditional forms of media. Our first week, we talked about local SEO and leveraging your Google business profile to get that local footprint and foundation for your business, and then leveraging AI and helping with managing the reviews that come in as you're out engaging with the population, asking them to leave reviews on your Google business profile. And then in the second week, we had geofencing, and geofencing is just a much sleeker, more intuitive way of putting your brand, blanketing an entire area, canvassing an area with your brand, so that everywhere that they go within a certain geofence, your brand pops up on all the apps and web pages and in the advertising areas that they see no matter what they're doing within that, on their mobile device. And then AI and engaging with those folks after they've clicked on your different geofence ads. And then the third week was all about AI, getting your own AI staff member, your own AI team together, thinking of ways that you can improve, you can innovate on the operations of your business. So those systematic processes that you have to deliver or to deploy, training AI to help move and manage those processes, instead of having a human laborer doing those tasks. And then today we're going to focus on social media success. So the whole thing about jumping on and saying, hey, write me a social media post for X, Y, and Z. If you guys have played with ChatGPT, and I'm assuming you have, it's one of those things where you have to understand context, and you have to really understand prompt engineering in order to get the most value out of a large language model. A large language model is, the reason it's intelligent is it's because of the data that it has to pull from. So you really have to zero in on the data sets that you want it to pull in from as it's responding back to you, so you can get your vision, your message, your philosophy, your beliefs, your authenticity into the automated process. So we're going to talk about combining that. That's going to be how that's the workshop that we're going to do live real time, so you guys can kind of see how to really peel back the layers of the onion and get R2D2 to give to you what it is that you want, that helps you support that authority position that we talked about from the first slide. And if you go back here, it's authority, trust, and awareness. So here's our agenda. We're going to talk about the importance and the power of social media for real estate. And then we're going to talk about a recipe. And this recipe is the success for results. That this recipe is the key to unlocking the biggest challenge to why social media has yet to really facilitate the type of engagements that you're looking for. And it's boiled down into the simplicity of this recipe. And then number three, how to effectively use AI to assist with this process that we're talking about. And this is going to be the workshop area. And then we're going to have our open live Q&A. We're going to also do our trivia contest. So definitely stick around because the stakes have even gone higher. There's up to $2,000 worth of weekly trivia contests. And if you guys don't know, I'm also out, engaging and getting deals to add to these contests to bring more and more value to the participation. Now, granted, you have to pay attention during the sessions so that you can answer these questions as quickly as possible, because it's like the trivia contest in the bar or the pub. The faster you get your finger on the trigger, the more points you score and the higher you move up the leaderboard. So it's going to be a public leaderboard and a first, second, and third place champion. And then we're going to give you the action kit, and then we're going to go back to the room for networking and call it a day. Now, a little bit of housekeeping before I jump in. I've gotten a lot of emails. Yes, you guys are getting access to the recordings of all of the different sessions that we've had. If you haven't received access to your login for the portal yet, it's only because we got this started before we had the portal set up, and so we're kind of repairing an airplane in flight. So we don't want things to crash. So we're kind of moving things over in a systematic approach to make sure that there's no crash. So you will be getting access to everything that we've done over the past course and the weeks and the slides and the resources and everything. Just be patient. We're just kind of making sure that all the bolts are tight and nothing's gonna leak. So let's talk social media. Social media is still the best tool for realtors. I'm not going to go into the details. We've talked about it. We know it's there. There are things that I can use to substantiate this, but let's assume that it's a hard argument to say it's not the case. So let's understand what the goal is. The goal of social media is to build that know, like, and trust factor. That's what helps ingratiate them to your brand. Who are you? Do I like you? Do you really know what you're talking about? And social media is your trampoline to tap into that. And if you do it in a systematic approach, you can definitely get them to feel as though they know you the same way. I guarantee you, Christine, if Denzel Washington walked into a room, I'd feel like I knew the guy, because my brain says, dude, you know him. You've seen him everywhere. Never met the guy ever. I don't think I've been in the same geography of him. But it's easy for us to leverage social media to get the brain to start thinking, oh, I know you. Oh, I know you. Of course I know you. Do I like you? That's now where you bring you to the table. Then do I trust you? Can you be validated? Because it's so quick and easy to validate you now. It's not a matter of whether or not they can go and look at your Google business profile and see how many reviews you have and see if people like you or they don't like you. We talked about that. Step one. That's your reputation. You have to have that reputation as a foundation. So know equal to search. Can they find you easily when they're looking for you? Like is your social networks. When I hang out with you in person or online, do I get a sense of who you are, whether or not I like who you are? When I read your posts, I begin to learn who you are, what you believe. Are you there creating conversations and relationships? If not, when are you going to start? You've got to be intentional about this. This is not accidental. Your brand is not a child. It's not going to automatically mature. You have to perpetuate this stuff. This is you driving the ship. And then trust is consistently online and off. Easy to be fake. You can fake it a couple of times, but it's not hard to get caught. It's very easy to get caught. I actually have a t-shirt. I wear it. I got to go find it. It says, I'm a child of the 80s. I do a lot of stupid shit, and there's no documentation or recording of anything I've done. Everything's being recorded. Everything's being documented. Everybody's a newscaster. Everybody's an influencer. So it's just, you've got to build that trust up, and trust comes with consistency. Trust comes with consistency. If I didn't show up one week and Christine didn't show up another week, and then the trust wane. It's just a matter of that consistency. Like, I knew I could hit that start button, and no matter where she was going to come sliding in right on time. I even called her, and it went to voicemail. So I'm like, oh, well, she's going to be a little late, but I hit the start button, and skirt, she comes right on time. I totally trust you. So focus on that as you're putting together your messaging. So most business owners feel overwhelmed at social media. They don't know where to start. Most struggle to find the easy way to strategy to get ahead of what their competition is doing. And they don't really have a lot of money to associate with social media and branding because they don't really and haven't really tracked it to determine where and what the value add is. So here's how you solve all three. At the end of the day, social media was designed to help businesses reach new clients and help them stay top of mind and ultimately drive more leads and sales. And let me explain why I say it was designed for this. Because social media makes its money off of advertising. Advertising means that businesses need to find success on their channel. So it's set up to get those kids spending 5 to 6 hours and those adults who have completely changed their landscape on how they interact and engage with their family members, paying as much of that number one asset to them as possible, your attention. So it is designed for your business to get attention because they know that if you are paying to play and you're getting results, you're going to continue to pay to play and their numbers go up. So don't get frustrated. Understand now that this is TNT. This is TBS. This is HGTV. This is your opportunity to put messaging together for the channels where your target demographic lives, spends their attention. That geofencing thing, you can turn around and say, I want to put my ads on Netflix and Hulu and YouTube TV and Amazon Prime whenever they're in between. My son and my daughter, my son and my wife watch a weekly special that they have to watch Peacock. And I walked out, and we've had TiVo forever, so when we always would delay watch these types of shows so we can just skip through the commercials. I'm like, yo, Pam, look, they got you back to forced to watch those commercials now because you get the little countdown timer, add 2 of 3, 1:12 left, and you're sitting there. I'm like, you're forced. You can't. She's like, I know. They got us back to where we started. We're right back to where we started, and we're paying to be here. They took us all the way around the barn, and they got us paying for something they were giving away for free because our attention was free before, and now they're making money off of that. So don't get frustrated. Let's talk about the fact that, at the end of the day, a lot of times you do a lot of posts, you spend a lot of time, and you don't really see the results. So if you've tried it and you've gotten to a point where you're like, I don't really see the reason for me to be consistent, it's so time consuming coming up with content. Finding social media content takes the most time. Creating that content takes the most time. And that's what stops people from doing it, because it takes so much time. We got to understand the new trends in consumer marketing behavior and understand that it's okay for us to tap into these trends, to follow through on the trends that are already happening. So, one, we already know that a lot of folks tap into social media to find new brands and to just pay attention to the recommended by Instagram to Amazon. I'm going to click on that to see what you recommend for me. They use it as an effective way. We've got numbers that show 40 times more folks get shared on social media than any other types of content out there. So it's more effective than blogging or anything else. So there's just a lot of just data, and baby boomers and Gen X's and millennials, everybody's using it, some more than others, but at the end of the day, everybody's using it. Big takeaway from this, though, is this. The different number of social media networks that your brand pays attention to acts as a new social media channel or a new television station they're able to tap into. So if you look at adding yourself to, the top, we'll just say 7 social media channels, this becomes a digital storefront for your business, for you to turn around and put different pieces of content on. You don't have to put the same thing on the same different platforms. As a matter of fact, you can't. Like, you could only put video content on YouTube. You can't write a blog article for YouTube. You just can't do it. So you are going to have to create different types of media for the channel that you want to use. And obviously, there's different type of audiences on these channels. And in some cases, you can open up sub-channels in forms of groups on these channels. And this helps allow you the opportunity to really hone in on different segments of your population and your audience. Maybe you start a group of first-time buyers in Alpharetta, Georgia. And that group allows you to turn around and move people on your brand, that is your entire swath of prospects, into something a little bit more concentrated, so that there's more value in the messages that you share with that group specifically. These are things that, from a data perspective, you can learn groups and interests and hobbies and, likes, and you can get the AI to help with the management of this information. Speaking in your words and your tone, if you give it proper instruction, providing the right prompt to train your AI tool, your AI employee, how to create content for specific pieces or channels and or specific data requirements. First-time buyers, investors, this. You can be a lot more intentional about how you put your message on these different channels, and you can change them anytime you want to, whenever you want to, and as quickly as you want to. You don't have to go through anybody to get you permission to get some stuff out there. I mean, obviously there's some regulations you're going to have to follow, but at the end of the day, all of these platforms are designed to generate money for their shareholders and investors, which means they're charging advertisers. That's what's going on. You are the product that you are using. So as long as you are involved in the process, you understand your clients are already on social media. Every client that you want is on one form of social media or another, period. Find the channels, find the message, find the way of offering something that you can connect with them on, so that it becomes easy for them to think about you when the time arises. It's not on your schedule that they become a client ever. It's always on their schedule that they become a client. It's your job to stay top of mind. That's really primarily it. And if you tap into the tools to allow you to stay top of mind, then you can leverage and use these channels a lot more effectively. So with that being said, this is just a little bit of an example of what you should be doing on these different platforms based on the population and the audience that's on these platforms and the speed of which the messages are consumed and discarded, on what you should be doing on a daily basis. So on Twitter, you should be posting 4 times a day, every day, 4 times a day. That's over 100 posts a month. You should be tweeting 100 tweets a month. Facebook, twice a day. LinkedIn, once a day. Instagram, 3 times per day. On average, 2 times per day, a post needs to basically go on a social media channel somewhere. And the real reason is because, number one, don't get it twisted. Only 12% of your followers are going to see your post anyway. So whatever number you think you're at, 12% of those people, if you're lucky, are going to see your post anyway. And then number two, social networks promote the consistency. So when they see the consistency happening, the way that they are able to measure your exposure or awareness is based on how frequently you get folks to engage with the stuff that you post. And if you post very sporadically and periodically, your data numbers are going to be way low compared to the person who posts consistently and gets even a small amount of engagement from their followers. So that small amount of engagement turns into, oh, well, look, they got 5% of their people to engage with it. So let's open it up instead of 12%. Let's do it 25% of the people see it now. So now a whole new batch of your followers start to see your post. And then a few of them engage with, okay, let's open up a few more of their followers. So the more of that engagement that happens on the post, the more natural the virility happens. It's not an accident. It's because you posted stuff that resonated at the time of somebody who sees it, decides to say, I want to get involved in the conversation, share it, like it, comment on it, and get involved in the conversation and move it along. So you have to think like that, and you have to leave a whole lot of little Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs out there. It's definitely important, because if you don't leave a whole lot of little Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs out there, then the opportunity that you have is like, how many channels? Now I just said TNT, CBS, ABC, da da da. How many channels are on your cable? How many channels are on your satellite? There's like hundreds. So if you don't leave breadcrumbs on the channels that your market plays on, when they're on their apps and they're doing their words with friends, or they're doing their whatever email or whatever, if there's not an opportunity for your brand to be seen intentionally, then you're missing the boat on a lot of the opportunity that social media is really designed for. So the first things that I'm going to recommend that you guys do, and the reason is because you guys are going to get access to a free comprehensive analysis. You run this reputation analysis, and you will be able to get a social media footprint of what kind of, I think that it's Facebook and Instagram, kind of, comparing you to what is going on in your space and industry and niche compared to what you're doing on Facebook versus like Twitter and LinkedIn type of thing, just so you can kind of get some benchmarks of what you should be doing. This would be a good starting point. Plus, there's a whole lot of other data information that you could, pull out of the audit as well. Again, I'm not going to go over all the stats, but at the end of the day, people engage with your brand. If they do, all the numbers point to the chances of them becoming a client of yours in some capacity, or even referring a client to you, grows tremendously. So stay top of mind with consumers. That's basically the bottom line. All right, this is where we get into the good stuff. Now we're going to talk about the social media content recipe. Your content needs to be engaging and focused on bringing value to the viewer. And we've discovered a recipe for creating high engaging content that can turn your followers into new clients. And this recipe is somewhat fluid and flexible, but is a very, very solid foundation for making the number one challenge that people have, which is, what do I write about if I got to post freaking 4 times on Twitter or 2 times? What the hell do I write about all this time to even be interesting? That in and of itself is a lot to even figure out and think about. And let's just basically say, we've got, what is it, 6 days, and then, the 7th day you rest kind of thing. If you just take that capacity and say, once a day you kind of think about something that you should be focusing on. And it could be as quick as, if you do it on your own, you're brushing your teeth and you look in the mirror doing your affirmations in the morning or whatever, and you have a inspiration that's brought on by the recipe that you learned, and you're like, yo, let's do this, and then immediately pull out the phone because it's right next to your freaking toothpaste that you just put down, and pick that up and then send a tweet type of thing. Maybe it's as organic as that, to something a little bit more sophisticated that says, let's do a little research, find out a few great ideas, put it into this recipe, and then schedule some stuff to happen over the course of the next couple of weeks to couple of months. And I don't even have to think about the stuff outside the affirmations, because I thought about it real hard on the beginning of the process, and I don't have to think about it now. And now I have the basics covered. And if the basics are covered, whatever else you decide to do as a regular human being is totally cherries on the top. It's just that extra add-on, because you now know that your social media channels are addressed and taken care of. So who's ready for the recipe? I want to see a bunch of little thumbs up popping up if you guys are ready for the recipe. I've been holding on to this. This is kind of the big thing. Let's see the thumbs up popping up. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Thumbs up popping up. All right. You guys are going to love this. If you haven't known, I have a weird sense of humor. I mean, things make me laugh easily. So here is the recipe. You guys don't worry about writing it down. You can, obviously, but you will get a copy of it. You can get the slides and everything else. So the first part of recipe is R. R stands for recreational content. These are things that are humorous or funny or jokes or throwbacks or things that have to do with the holidays that are coming up. Things that folks in the community can relate to, so that it becomes easy for you to come up with a piece of content. Hey, that Throwback Thursday could be, I can pull out a picture from 1953 Silicon Valley and post that and say, hey, here's, housing prices circa 1954 or whatever type of thing. And it just be a recreational piece of content. Throw a couple of hashtags up there, throw a branded link up there, and it's not, buy my stuff, come to my open house. I sell houses, I buy houses, it's just the brand saying, hey, in the space of real estate, there is something throwback or funny or joke-wise or holiday-wise that we should be talking about, that we could be talking about. And if you plan it out, it becomes a lot easier to put the holidays into the process as well, so they don't sneak up on you. That's the biggest complaint that I've always heard, is that the holidays typically sneak up on you. So come up with a joke of the day. Every day, come up with a joke of the day. It's not hard. You got ChatGPT. Come up with a joke of the day. I need some jokes for real estate, for social media. Not hard. Now, granted, you're going to have to put a little bit of spin on it. We'll talk about it. But you don't have to come up with this stuff by yourself automatically anymore. So your recreational content, if you turn around and start putting together an archive, let me just create some recreational content every day. Let me just go through and just figure out a recreational piece of content to create. And we'll talk about it a little bit later, but creating some of these graphics is super easy right now. There's tools like Canva, and it's just super easy for you to go in and, take a piece and put your own little title and your own little, joke for the day, hit save, put a couple emojis up there, import it out and upload it right to your social media site. You're good to go. So yeah, come up with something funny, get creative with it. And let's now talk about the next part of the social media recipe. It's E. This is educational stuff. This is facts and the trivia, trends and research, tips and tricks, case studies, just, information that helps validate the logical side of the brain. The recreational was the carefree, cool, emotional. Oh yeah, you're cool to hang out with. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, it's always cool to have a funny joke to tell when you're at a party type of thing, and everybody's that's the recreational side. The educational side is the logical side of the brain. So come up with something logical that people can say, oh, that's interesting. Oh, now might be a good time for me to buy. Oh, might be a good time for me to sell, kind of thing. So think about that, pay attention to that, and be intentional about, let's just create an archive of a bunch of educational pieces of content. And these don't have to be college dissertations. This can be a short form piece of video content that you put out on a social media platform that appreciates 15 to 20-second clips. So that is tip number 1, fact or trivia. Now's a good time to buy because bing. And that is that quick. That keeps your brand top of mind. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the consistency here. We're not talking about selling anything. We're talking about building that authority, that trust, using these social media channels properly. Now, the next, so an example of it is, come up with something that, basically shows something that is factual, that can be fact checked, and maybe it might even be something that might be controversial or incorrect. And you're asking for the engagement of fact checking this type of thing. What's your feedback on this? We heard it was this way in this part of the of town. What's your feedback on that if you're in that part of town, kind of thing? And that's the whole engagement aspect that you're really looking to get with a lot of these posts. Is something's funny, people are going to say ha ha ha, or put a LOL or put a smiley face. That's engagement. That alone right there tells the social media platform, hey, they post something and their followers engage with it. Even though it's just a quick little emoji, ha ha ha, that's funny. It just brightened their day, and I'll just let everybody else know it brightened my day too. The educational is the thing that you might want to get a conversation happening about that, because you might want to facilitate getting an expert involved in the conversation type of thing. So now it's kind of like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation about this. And it's a public forum. Use it as a public forum. All right. The next part is C. C stands for conversational content. These are the surveys and the polls and the fill in the blanks and the this versus that and the ask the advice or question. I was leading into this because I want you thinking about this. This is what social media is about. If you post it, get them to engage with it. Get them to talk about it. It doesn't have to be anything about specifically house on 123 Maple Street that you're trying to sell. It can be about the surveys and the polls of whether or not it's challenging getting a mortgage for the first time type of thing. It keeps it top of mind, but it gets people engaged with it. And that's what you want to do. And the fill in the blanks, the this versus that, the little survey, the poll opportunity there, those things are psychological, because what that also shows the algorithm is that you're getting people to think and then participate. The first was, oh, it's emotional, kind of knee-jerk type of thing. The educational, logical, and the conversational, you're getting them to start to show that their involvement is valued higher. Their attention that they're giving you is valued higher than just a quick little emoji. And that's what you really have to think about. So, provide some, content that is in that particular vein. I'm not going to read this because it might not even be applicable to what we're doing here. The next is I, inspirational. This is where you got to get people to say, aha, like that aha moment, that thing that says, timing's right now, or I've been thinking about doing this for a minute type of thing. And you've got to inspire them to see the vision of. So give them the quote of that for that inspiration, or figure out that before versus after kind of thing. And when I say before and after, yes, it could be, hey, before you renovated and after you renovated, or before you staged and after you staged kind of thing. But it also could be before you were in an apartment to after you had a house so the dog couldn't run around and et cetera type of thing. That kind of content intentionally is necessary for you to get them to start to look at you as a solutions provider. So everything you've been doing up to this point has been, do I know you? Do I like you? Do I trust you? And remember that no is, am I seeing you enough? Are you posting enough? Are you around everywhere I look enough? Do I like you? Do I like the stuff you're talking about? And everything I've outlined here is completely germane. You don't have to be worried about falling on the particular side of anything, depending upon how you use and leverage these bits, these topic advice ideas. One last thing I want to bring to your attention is, you see the little number that's encased in the little square off to the right? That number illustrates how much of that topic needs to be posted on a weekly basis. Okay, so every day you should be doing something like a throwback or a funny or a joke or a holiday or something. There's some reason to just be personable in the community. Look and see what's going on and pay attention to it and see what's trending and talk about it, just to be top of mind, so you can put hashtags up and you can have a reason to leave your link behind, and you can give people a chance to say, or I don't know, type of thing. That's you should be doing that at least once a day on whatever platform that you're talking about, or platforms that you're talking about. The educational, at least 5 times a week. So every week you should be having something that drops in their mind. Remember, only 12% of people are saying it number one. Okay, number one. That's number one. And number two, you've got to present yourself as an authority. So you've got to just start having a bunch of information and experience and education that satisfies the logical side of their brain out there as you possibly can. The conversational, you want to get people engaging. So at least 4 times a week, you want to get them engaging with some kind of a survey or a poll. And the inspiration, at least 3 times a week, you should be getting them to be thinking about some, inspirational, life-changing kind of thoughts. Can you guess what the acronym for the recipe is? What do you think the next letter is? The acronym is recipe. So it's easy to remember. This is the recipe. Just follow this recipe. So your P are your offers. This is where you're doing your discounts, your live events, your home viewings, your open houses, your workshops, your webinars, your trainings, your promotional pieces. This is where you can also turn around and start promoting your customer reviews. There's a great way for you to just take all those great reviews that you should have been getting from what we talked about in week 1 and start to say, hey, we so love you for leaving us a 5-star. We just wanted to share with our Facebook group. At least twice a week, you should be talking about the things that you do to help move them into the next stage of their buying or their decision-making process. Now, these offers don't have to be financial. These offers could be ebooks. They could be online offers where you're just getting them to opt into something and exchanging contact details so that they can become a lead. This is where you're saying, give me something of yours. I want something of yours. And remember, what's the number 2 asset? Data. Their data is valuable. And for them to give you that data, you would have to offer them something in return. It could be an ebook. It could be, hey, come out to my, dinner and a presentation thing, and I'll buy you dinner, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to offer something for that data in return. So anything that you're asking them to give you is the equivalent for things in the promotional aspect or the promotional field. And then finally, the last letter is E, and those are some promotional examples. Last letter is E. E is entrepreneurial. This is where you start sharing information about your brand. This is where you talk about behind the scenes. What goes on behind the scenes when you're staging a house, right? I mean, take some, B-roll footage of, wiping down the furniture and cleaning some stuff up so that you can talk about, here's what goes on behind the scenes with so-and-so type of thing. What kind of, personal life that the, agents have and who they are personally and what your missions and your vision and your value is. And if you are recognizing different employees or staff members, publicly promote and announce them at least once a week kind of thing. So every week you've got something behind the scenes, something personal life, something from the brand that you're just leaving out in the social environment so that folks can start to learn who you are, what you are, how you do it, your philosophies, your beliefs, and your directions. So there it is. That's your recipe right there. That right there can enable you to create as much content as you want to create, being able to stay relevant and top of mind. And that's what facilitates the engagement. Now you can start tracking things. Now you can start looking at data, because when they start engaging and sharing, all the platforms have data analytics around what happens when people engage with your posts that you do. Once you start getting a lot of engagement around that data can then be utilized to say, hey, how much of those posts actually went over to our website and gave us their lead, their name, their email address, and their phone number, because we had that as part of one of the calls to action on the recipe. So there's a lot of different ways that you can start validating what you're doing, because you're being intentional about it. So take a screenshot. This is your recipe. Follow it. Makes it super, super easy. So the idea is simple: make social media effective. It allows the business to start being consistent with their posting, help businesses engage and convert more customers online. And that's why the system was basically created. We've got a whole lot that kind of goes behind that system, obviously, but that's the foundation for when we get hired to come on and do social media for a client. We follow the recipe. We basically sit down. We have a few onboarding calls to kind of get a sense of, who they are. We train an AI agent all about that business, number one, so that the AI agent can also help us when we're starting around, we're doing our planning. But we follow the recipe, what type of things that are, and yes, there's some checks and balances that we can set up in our system that says, hey, we'll put the publishing calendar, we'll go ahead and do it out for the next 6 weeks to 3 months type of thing. And you can go in and you can edit or approve or reject any of the pieces that you don't like, kind of thing. We can do that all for you. But at the end of the day, it's really just a matter of you guys knowing what to do on your end, because we are going to use the same tools that you have access to. So if there is the need to want to kind of bootstrap it, to get it off the ground, to get it started, that's the essence of what we're talking about here today. But ultimately, you're going to see that you're going to want to delegate and throw this over the fence and have somebody or something else do it, because you can actually train AI to help you with these processes too. So there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of tap into it. So let's now figure out how to get AI to help us out with everything that we've kind of talked about. So I've gone over this slide in the previous session, and it's all about how AI is just a new way of thinking. It's not just about pushing buttons, but you need to go further than just playing with Chat GPT or any of the other tools. Change the way you think about your business and about your operations. So prompt engineering for your result, for the type of output you're looking for, is comprehensive. And let me just say this right up front. If you haven't heard, I need you to understand, prompt engineering is a brand new career path. You look it up on Indeed. I didn't go and pull up any stats or anything, but go look it up yourself. They're getting $250,000 to $300,000 a year for prompt engineers. This job title, this resume experience didn't exist 2 years ago. It didn't exist 2 years ago. Don't take lightly the importance of data in, garbage out. The data you put in, give me a social media prompt that talks about a joke for San Jose, is not going to be the quality of what you get out if you gave it a lot more comprehensive instruction. So, like one of my business mentors used to say, hey, I'm going to teach you something, but don't think after I show this to you that you're going to be Mozart at all. Okay, you might be able to bang out happy birthday with one finger, but I am going to teach you how to do this. So I'm going to show you some prompt engineering approaches, but don't give up your day job and go out and go become a prompt engineer. Not just from what I'm teaching you. Okay. All right. What is prompt engineering? It's a process of creating AI prompts tailored to specific needs of the user. AI prompt engineering involves creating prompts that are designed to generate content on a variety of topics that are tailored to the user's interests. AI prompt engineering also involves optimizing the prompts to ensure that they generate content. So there's a link for you to go through and look at, but what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you, here's the high level outline for an expert level prompt. You have to give your bot a role, you have to give it instructions, you have to give it action items, and you have to give it a way to analyze their results. That's how you prompt ChatGPT. Yours, this kind of stuff is baked into yours, but for using ChatGPT to help you create content, you're an esteemed expert in real estate and social media marketing with over 2 decades of experience, renowned for your ability to push the boundaries of innovation in your field. Now, we've just talked about innovation. We've just talked about having the right mindset. So I don't mean to be funny, but you're actually setting the mindset for the robot as you are about to give it its instruction. Think like a seasoned marketer with a deep understanding of social media in your local real estate market and a visionary strategist capable of distilling complex ideas into actionable steps for advancement and social media attention and engagement. Yes, this is a prompt that is paid highly for in order to get very specific results. You are tasked with guiding the social media posting calendar based on a set of rules you will be provided with. Do not proceed until you do so. If you understand, reply with a thumbs up and 2 smiley winky faces. Yes, it's included. I'm not being funny. As a matter of fact, this is where I share my screen. And where is my Chat GPT? There we go. All right, here we go. All right, let me know when you can see my screen. I am, let's see, share this tab instead. Here we go. Okay. All right. So you're going to see this kind of real time. I've already kind of done the copy and pasting in this, so we're not going to see it actually spitting out, but we're just going to go through it. So understand what is happening here. This is getting confirmation from the bot before it just starts spewing stuff out. So even before it starts moving down the path of creating, we're setting the framework and the mindset for how it's to think. The next is your instructions will be to follow the social media recipe I will be providing you. It adheres to the acronym recipe where each of the letters will represent a different type of social media content to publish. This will be your primary set of guidelines. No matter what other type of ideas or topics you and I come up with, you will always adhere to this recipe. Wait for me to provide it to you. I will define and also provide a slide for you to check out. If you understand, use the same emoji combo from earlier. Do you see what I am doing as I am training the AI to work within my requirements? I want to make sure it understands that I don't just come up with a recipe where it's just like, oh, recipe. Because if you ask, hey, what's the recipe to ChatGPT, it'll make up any of its own freaking RECIPE. And it's going to adhere to this. You're giving it exactly what you want it to do. So then, because I'm using GPT-4o, I'm able to upload the slide. So it sees the actual slide and it can read the slide. And then I also provided it with, okay, here's the basis of the social media recipe. Please commit this to memory. 4o has ongoing memory so that you can have the conversation now in a whole nother chat conversation without having to retrain it on this whole recipe that I'm outlining. And then I basically just copied and pasted the R is this and that, and the E is da 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 da. And then here at the bottom, I said recommended posting schedule is all R content 6 times a week, the E content 5 times a week, C content 4 times a week, I content 3 times, etc. Also see the image slide. His response, memory updated. I've committed the recipe framework to memory and will use it as a foundation for your social media content strategy moving forward. Let's get started on creating and engaging a diverse social media calendar based on those guidelines. If you have any specific ideas or topics you'd like to incorporate, feel free to let me know. My next prompting, and what I am doing is this is called prompt chaining. I am chaining prompts together. We haven't even started to write yet. This is purely training the bot on what I want it to do for me. Now I'm going to feed you some recommended recent blog articles about social media strategies and real estate for your reference. Allow me to feed these to you one at a time, and each time you will reply back with the emoji combination until I alert you that I am done. I reserve the right to add additional reference URLs to your memory at any time just by letting you know, okay? Without saying anything, wink, wink, gotcha, boss. Okay, here's the first blog link. I don't need to pull them up. These are all highly recommended. A Blogspot link. Got it? Wink, wink. Luxury Pleasance link. Hootsuite link. Fit Small Business link. Constant Contact link. Now, mind you, I will say this, like, for example, this is an example of some additional great content, proven real estate for social media marketing strategies for 2024. And if I go and I pull this up and take a look here, this has some good information. Why real estate social media matters. It's increased visibility. It's targeted advertising. It's engaged. It's interact. I mean, these guys believe what I believe. Facebook. Oh yeah. Okay. Excellent. So let's train my bot to also think like that too. So incorporate that into our recipe. So when we're coming up with ideas, I want you to use some of these great ideas that these other experts are already evangelizing. All right, now that I've loaded them up with a bunch of different things, I said, okay, based on everything you know, are you ready to begin? Reply back with affirmative or negative. Affirmative, boss. Great. Now, My first client is Chris Lucier. This gentleman here, we will pull up Chris. Here's Chris here, and here's his website. We will take a look at Chris's. All right, so this is Chris's Google business page. He's located here in the San Jose Bay Area. He's got 24 5-star reviews, and he's a Coldwell Banker guy. And he looks like he's got a few things. I saw LinkedIn up there and Coldwell Banker up there. And then here's his website. So it looks like he's got a nice little team there. He's got his little website going. And he's got his little listings up here. Excellent. So I want you to know about my guy. So first, go to his Facebook, his social media, or his Google page, and his website. Do some research on his brand, his location, the real estate market in his area before we begin. After you've completed your research, reply back with our emoji combo. I actually deleted that by accident, unfortunately. I apologize for that. But he comes back and he says, here's my whole research on your client. Here's Chris. Bada bing. Chris's overview. Chris's business philosophy. Honestly, I've already got his philosophy now. My robot. Oh, my fault. I thought I was sharing. Let me go back and see this. I wasn't sharing, so I'm here. Okay, so I provide the link to ChatGPT as well as the website address. He comes back with the okay, and then he starts telling me Chris is a seasoned real estate professional based in San Jose. Chris's business philosophies, honesty and integrity, his reputation. He's Silicon Valley's real estate market where he operates. So he already is knowing my client as we're moving through this process. Now let's begin. Create a custom social media calendar for his brand using the recipe discussed for the next 30 days. Outline this content calendar to include the type of post, the number of posts, post headline, post content, post image, media content, if it's a short video, etc., and refer to. So here is where now I have a starting point for content that gets me starting. This is not the actual post. This is just my Throwback Thursday, Silicon Valley edition, sharing a nostalgic moment from Silicon Valley's history in real estate, an old photo at a significant real estate landmark in the Valley, something educational, market trends in San Jose, highlighting the largest market trends in data in San Jose, a graph or a chart, conversational, poll, favorite, home features, da, da, da. So it's giving me my starting points that I can start to extrapolate and pull back the layers on and dive deeper and say, great, you've given me, and notice, RECIPE, gave me the dates and the times, RECIPE. It's already trained. I don't have to talk about the recipe anymore. It knows my recipe. Now, whenever I say, give me something educational, let's really expound upon this. Let's research what's going on in the area right now. I say, okay, so great. So for the first post, provide 3 examples of complete posts for me to choose from. Now he's helping me write the actual post. Throwback Thursday is my headline, Silicon Valley. Take a look at this gem from Silicon Valley real estate history. This iconic building was constructed in early 1900s amid a stable in our community. Image of an old black and white photo, historic building, blah, 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 change as you see fit. Example number 2, example number 3. Say, and I go and I ask, find me an old place. It's trying to look, but it's going on Wikipedia, so it's pulling back things that Wikipedia is not allowing, but I can go and pull it up on Wikipedia. But it's giving me the URLs to those locations so that I can just go download those links myself. So now I've come up with a very straightforward way for me to be able to create content for a client, following a recipe, following this client's philosophies, following their local marketplace trend, And now it's a matter of replicating that and digging deeper and pulling that apart and then scheduling that. So let me go back to my little slideshow here. So now you've got the content that you have created from your help with your AI resource assisting you. So this is just me copying and pasting all the stuff, and I went through on the slides when I went through with you guys live. Oh, I mentioned this earlier. When it gave you some ideas, of some of that content, old house of so and so and so. You can actually go to Canva and start creating some of those quotes and those GIFs, images, and even short videos and slides with the free version of Canva. So leverage and use these tools. They're out there. It makes your process a lot easier, and it's in the cloud. If it's in the cloud, then AI can help you out with it. Now, one of the things that we provide is a AI-powered marketing dashboard, a platform that helps with a whole lot of marketing aspects. And one of them is the social media management aspect. And so, yes, you can have all of your different social media platforms that you have to be responsible for logging in and engaging with and following up and communicating on. That's the manual way of doing it. Our AI Genius system, because AI kind of is empowering everything that we have kind of going on in our platform, you can API connect your individual Google account, your Facebook account, your Instagram account, your LinkedIn account to the dashboard, be able to log in from one central command center, use AI to help you create your content, schedule that content out, and put it on all of the different primary platforms that you have to be posting on. And so when it comes time for you to say, I need to create a recreational post every day, you can log in and say, I'm going to take this recreational post and I'm going to check Instagram and Facebook because they're kind of the same. I'm going to do something maybe a little bit different for TikTok because it's kind of that video thing that I need to kind of create. So I'm not going to necessarily post this on TikTok, and I'm going to put this on my Google business profile. So now I have 3 channels that I'm posting this piece of content on, and I can schedule that out whenever I want to for any and all the content. Creating digital video, AI created video is becoming easier and easier. I'm not going to go down the path of what's coming down the pipeline in this session today. That's a whole session in and of itself. But being able to create very simple, straightforward, brand related, professional style videos is extremely simple. Leverage and use these tools, and then architect a posting calendar. What are you going to post? Where, when, and organize that. And here's the cool thing. If it's everything's under one umbrella and we've got AI agents at your disposal, you can have an AI agent trained on listening to your social media DMs and comments that come in. And now when the social media comment happens from one of these posts that are going down, you can engage with them automatically, inviting them to click links and go to next steps and do further engagement. And things aren't falling into a void, and you're not pulling your hair out saying, I'm on all these platforms and I don't have time. Because you've thought about this process intelligently, you've innovated smartly. You can turn around and say, hey, let's put this content together. And now if anybody replies back to this and they reply and they, and there's a conversation about first-time homeowner, I want you to send over to them a text message that sends them to our first-time homeowner owner page or opt-in or opportunity that we have. All of this is definitely possible because your data is in the cloud. So it's just another example of, create a social media marketing calendar. I'll take you quickly here and just kind of show you a little bit of a kind of a real-time sneak peek here. This is an example here in this account. You can see here, these are different client accounts that have different social accounts connected. So this is like their Google accounts. These are these businesses' Google accounts. These are these businesses' Facebook accounts. These businesses, Facebook, Instagram accounts. These are their LinkedIn accounts. So all these different accounts can be chosen, and obviously some are connected and some are not connected for the demo purposes or whatever. But you can easily say, hey, we're going to post to this account, that Google account. We're going to post to this Facebook account, and we're going to post to, is there anything else connected? Or whatever, this Facebook account. And now when we go through and we create a piece of content, we say create a new post, a piece of content here. We select those accounts that we said we were going to post to here, and we'll just do this one for example. The types of posts show up here on the right hand side. These are your Facebook posts. This is what your Google posts is going to look like. And then you can copy and paste your post here. You can write your post here. You can use the GPT strategy that we just talked about a moment ago there. If you're in a bind, you can use a quick AI resource here. You can get your post created very easily. You can add an image here. You can add a video here. Oops, it went to the, go back. It went to the media area. You can decide what your call to action is, what your button is going to be on the social media post. Put your link in there. And then you can decide if you're going to post it now or schedule the post for some point in the future. So bottom line is, this is a very easy way to manage creation of content. And there is a social media calendar that once content is created, I think there's some content back in, I think it was a couple of, this is a demo account. So anyway, there's, it shows content that you've posted. Oh, this looks like it has content. All right, so it shows content that was posted and on what content places they were posted. If you schedule it in the future, it shows what piece of content, what the content is. You can go and you can pull it up. This is just an easy way to manage your social media. That being said, we're not even touching on this today, but I want to plant this seed in your lap so you're aware of this, is being able to tap in and leverage social media outside of just organic posting is where you start bringing the pay-per-click, paid advertisement into bear. It's important to realize that doing paid advertising where you're paying specifically for a target demographic is a necessary process for data collection in your business. So you are going to have to bring that to the forefront. Our AI marketing system allows you to do the exact same thing with all your paid advertising platforms. So your Google ads, your Facebook ads, your YouTube ads, your TikTok ads, even ads for things like, being on some of the streaming media platforms, Spotify, etc. You can plug all those to your dashboard, manage the budgets, manage the ads, get AI to help you create your ads, schedule your ads, turn them on, turn them off, change your budget right from within one dashboard, so you're not having to log into all your different ad platforms as well. So there's a lot of different values when you kind of have everything under one roof that we can turn around and tap into. All right, so let's bring this puppy home. So at the end of the day, forget this whole beta spot thing. The bottom line is, typically when we do this for a client, we basically say, hey, we're going to create 60 pieces of content for you. We're going to create some short form video content for you. We'll talk very, very quickly about the video content, but we're launching something very interesting that's going to help you take large video, long form video content, run it through an AI analysis and have it read the script and see what areas, things that are being talked about, trend, And if it's something trendy, turn it into one of those shorts automatically that you can put up on like a TikTok or an Instagram that have like I call it the karaoke style captions, where as the person's talking, the words are popping up on the screen and showing up in different colors type of thing. And maybe the audio, sound that bounces around that gets their attention. And it's short enough to where it pulls you in, but it cuts you off, leaving that level of curiosity. So you're like, wait, hold on. You said 3 tips that I need to be aware of as a first-time home buyer. And you gave me that first tip and you just started giving the second tip, and the video written to repeat. And now you're repeating the same first tip again. Where's the profile? Where's the second video? Where's the longer form video content? That's the other way of getting them to intentionally start to seek you out. And if you've left enough Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs around, them finding you becomes easy. That becomes that no factor. I have to be able to seek you out and find you. If I can seek you out and find you, then it helps. So basically, when we roll this out for a client, because we're using AI, we can take basically what's over $3,000, $3,500 worth of stuff and charge them less than $700 to kind of knock all that stuff out for them, kind of thing. Everything I'm showing you, you guys can do yourself. Everything that I literally just laid out for you is what we do, and save $700. You can turn around and replicate exactly what we outlined here today. But you're going to find at some point, you're going to want to make sure that you keep it going and things evolve, and you're going to want to have some professional help at your side. And hey, it's about $20 a day, $22 a day. Why not? All right, so we talked a little bit about video, but the bottom line is video is extremely viral and folks gravitate towards it. Short form video content is what is necessary. So think of it this way. Record a long form video, long form being 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 10 minutes type of thing, and then turn it into 10 or 20, 10 to 30-second video shorts. And like I said earlier, splice that puppy off right in the middle of the good part. Give them something good, but splice that puppy off right when they're same bat time, same bat channel. Come look for me for more, and make sure that you are publishing all this kind. You saw how much content we just created. We just created a crap ton of content. There should be content being posted and published and put out there on a regular, consistent basis. We've all seen the short form video content. Cut it down, keep it under 90 seconds. Short form video content rules. It's what everybody's doing. Bottom line is use it. You guys need to be using it. So that being said, we are done. I am about out of slides here, I think, except for the Q&A. Any questions that we have? Anything specific that we need to address? Let's see here. Nothing in the questions box, so nothing, I guess. So does everything we talked about make sense? Does it give you a different way of looking at social media, looking at AI to really help give you a competitive edge over branding yourself, building that KLT factor, that know, like, and trust factor? So I'm always seeing you everywhere you go, and however you want to, whatever platform you're interested in, you can find me on. All right, no questions right off the bat here. Let's talk about the trivia contest. We're going to run a quick trivia contest here. One of our sponsors is a travel agency marketing partner, and they have a fantastic offer that allows us to give away a complimentary hotel savings card for our first, second, and third place winners. So our first place winner is going to get a $300 hotel savings card. Our second place winner is going to get a $200 hotel savings card. And our third place winner will get a $100 hotel savings card. And these hotel cards are good at over 1 million hotels worldwide, 4- and 5-star hotels to W. I used it for the staycation this past weekend when we went to Sonoma. We went to Honduras, and I used it when we went to Honduras. And so, I mean, you can use it all over the planet. So that's one of the pieces. But then we also have some value-added offerings that are going to be available because you are participating in today's contest. So the first place winner will receive a $500 coupon off of hiring us to do any social media for them. So for the most part, that $697 offering is basically a $197 offering for your first 30 days if you want to take advantage of it. You will get the $300 hotel savings card. You're also going to get a Google Tap card sponsored by our friends over at the Google Reviews, as well as a free month of Google AI to respond to any reviews that you get. Those have a value of about $80 together, and then you will get access to that Google reputation analysis report I talked to you about, which is the $300 value. Second place, only difference is you get a $200 discount off the social media posting and a $200 hotel savings card. And then for the third place winner, you get a $100 coupon off the 30-day social media posting. You don't get the Google cards. No, you do get the Google cards. You also get the $100 hotel savings card, and then you get the reputation analysis. And then everybody who's participating will get access to the Google reputation analysis opportunity. So here's what we have to do. I'm going to run through 15 questions. It's going to be as fast as you can make your response. It's about 15 or 12 seconds between each question, but as soon as everybody gets all their questions in, then the timer stops and we go on to the next question. At the end of each question, we will show who is in the lead. I will be sharing a QR code here in a moment, and that QR code will pull out your phone, because that QR code is going to be how you will be engaging with the trivia contest. Your cell phone is going to be the tool that you use to push the button. The question is going to pop up on your phone screen and on the computer screen. And when it does, as fast as you can answer the right question, the higher the points are going to be. The last question is going to be worth double points. So make sure that you are Johnny on the spot and be as quick as you can for the questions. And here comes the QR code now. All right. All right, go ahead and populate the leaderboard. Let's get the folks involved. Excellent, excellent. And start playing with the avatar. Just know you can change the avatar anytime, but you can't go back. So if you like the avatar you were with, you can't go back to the one that any other one. All right. Not me. Oh, not me. I hope you don't win. I won't know how to get in touch with you, not me. All right, so here we go. We got a full game. I'm going to give it another 10 seconds or so here. And then we are going to get the game started. 5, 4. Now, I will read the question. I am not going to read the answers. I might giggle at the answers because sometimes these answers are super hilarious. All right. Social media is a great tool to get your prospects to All right, correct answer is know your brand, like your brand, and trust your brand. Know, like, and trust. All right, trust me, it ain't gonna be that easy the whole time. All right, so we have first place right now is Rebecca. Second place is Leah. Third is Kat. All right, what does the K in KLT factor stand for? Maybe it is gonna be that easy. No, the K stands for no. Your customers must know who you are. Rebecca's still, oh no, Rebecca, you fell down. Leah's in the lead now. The Cat's moved up to number 2. On average, how many posts per day are recommended for social media success? Answer 3. All right, this one was a little tricky. You had to add up the 4, the 3, the 2, and the 1 from that other post in order to get that answer right. That was a little sneaky, and then divide by 4. Yeah. We were a little sneaky with that one. Social media is only moderately effective for real estate marketing. Now, this is a makeup question. Let's see who's going to take the lead now. 3 seconds left. False. It is extremely effective. All right. Oh, Saket's in first place. Not by much. Lee is right on his tail. And so is Andrea. What is the most time-consuming task in social media marketing? Creating and posting content. Oh, Saket falls to number 4. What type of content is 40 times more likely to be shared on social media? Visual content, videos, and the pictures. Everybody got it right. Everybody stays in the same spot. What does the C in recipe stand for? Right. Conversational. Everybody got it right. Okay. All right. I was paying attention. How many posts per day are recommended for social media success? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Twice, at least twice a day, every day you should post it. Oh, Doug came in. Not me is trying to come up in the ring. Kent, where you at, man? What type of content is recommended for our content according to the recipe strategy? Not the movie picture industry. I don't want to know the R content for movie picture industry association. Followers, improving social media engagement. Just misspell something, you'll get engagement. That's funny, a funny joke. Ha 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 ha. All right. Oh, Leah. What does the R stand for? Recipe. I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may update your Facebook status. Yeah. All right, it wasn't religious. Recreational. Okay. Leaderboard is still intact. Andrea only by 2 points. Doug is on her heels. 4 questions left. Consistency in posting builds trust with potential clients. right. Oh, you dropped down by 5 points. You weren't fast enough, Doug. Gotta be faster, man. What is a benefit of using AI for social media? All right, last 3 questions. It helps in consistent posting. Not me. He takes the #1 spot. What is the primary purpose of Alignable.com? I will laugh hard and not me wins. The check has to be payable to not me. To share funny cat videos. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, everybody got it wrong. Okay, so that was the wrong answer. Okay, everybody got it wrong. That was totally, that was our fault. We'll make up for it in question 15. Which features on Alignable help businesses to receive recommendations from their peers? Oh, that's a gimme. Recommendations. It's in the question. All right. This one is worth double points. Get ready. Get ready. Andrea is not me. What type of events can users participate in on Alignable? Go quick. Hurry, hurry. All right. Let's see who the top champion is going to be. Local business networking events. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. Oh my gosh, get out of here. Get out of here. Who is not me? Is that you? All right, so not me's not going to win. Andrea's first place. Huh? You're not me? Are you not me?
No, I don't know who not me is.
You're not? I don't know who not me is. All right, so I'll have to do a little investigation to see who not me is. But somewhere between not me, Andrea, Doug, and Leah, we have winners. We will follow up with you guys. Hopefully today was fun. It was humorous. I liked the little Q&A thing there that we did. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go back to the room. Christine, any?
Not me is Rod. So now we know. It's on the chat.
Not me is Rod. Okay. Okay. So thank you guys so much, especially for sticking around. Again, like I said, you guys will get a recording. So if you had to leave, no worries, no harm. Keep an eye open on your inbox. Christine, do you have anything to say? No, you're good. Awesome, guys. Hopefully you got some value out of today. I try to bring a whole different approach to it every single week because I know how many of these things you guys go to on a regular basis, and I want you thinking differently about your business. Next week is our final week of our innovation summit. And we are going to have really kind of an open networking environment. So it's really going to be less of this. We might jump on and do a little bit of presentation, but more it's going to be designed for us to get in and start networking with each other. So if you know somebody that you would like to bring to the networking event, bring them to the networking event, more the merrier. Otherwise, make sure you do register on Alignable for that so you will get the follow-ups as well. Christine, I'll send you a new placard for the thing when we get off. and we'll see you next week. I will see you guys on the floor. We're gonna go to the floor, and if you guys want to hang around, I'm gonna hang around for a while. Thanks a lot.